Jose Riveiro breaks his silence on Kaizer Chiefs links. Former Jose Riveiro has finally addressed the growing speculation linking him with Kaizer Chiefs, and his response has already sparked major debate among fans across South Africa. Speaking openly for the first time since the rumors began, the former Orlando Pirates coach made it clear that he still holds deep respect for the Buccaneers and appreciates the opportunity he had while working at the club. However, Riveiro also admitted that he understands the magnitude and history of Kaizer Chiefs as one of the biggest football institutions in the country. Riveiro revealed that Kaizer Chiefs have never officially contacted him, but he did not close the door on the possibility. According to the Spanish tactician, coaching a club of Chiefs' stature would be a major challenge and one he would be willing to accept if the opportunity ever came. He said, "Kaizer Chiefs is a very big team in South Africa with incredible supporters in history. They deserve a strong project and a strong coach. If one day they feel I'm the right person to help the club move forward, I would definitely consider it." Despite the speculation, Riveiro emphasized that his respect for Orlando Pirates remains strong and he would never take their support for granted. Chiefs fans, what do you think? Should Jose Riveiro become the next coach of Kaizer Chiefs? Imagine walking into FNB Stadium as the new head coach of the most decorated football club in South African history, and doing it after you already embarrassed that very same club 5 times in the Soweto Derby. That is the fascinating, almost unbelievable conversation that South African football can't stop having right now. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Today, we are diving deep into the Jose Riveiro and Kaizer Chiefs story, the CV, the tactics, the drama, and the question that has Soweto divided. Let's go. Point 1. Who is Jose Riveiro? Before we talk about Kaizer Chiefs, you need to understand who this man is, because if you only know him as that Pirates coach, you are seriously missing the bigger picture. Jose Luis Riveiro Caballero was born on the 15th of September 1977 in Vigo, a coastal city in the Galician region of northern Spain, the same region that produced one of the most famous clubs in the world, RC Celta de Vigo. Now, Riveiro was never a superstar player. He played in the lower Spanish divisions with a side called Gran Peña before retiring in his 20s. But here's the thing about great coaches. It's never about what they did with a ball at their feet. It's always about what they do with a clipboard in their hands. And from the moment Riveiro picked up that clipboard, he never looked back. He began coaching at youth level, working with CD Tays and CD Choco in the Spanish regional leagues and with the youth categories of the very club he grew up watching, RC Celta de Vigo. But the moment that truly changed his career came in 2014, when he made a decision that very few coaches are bold enough to make. He packed his bags, left the comfort of Spain, and moved to Finland. Yes, Finland, not the Bundesliga, not La Liga, Finland. He worked as an assistant coach at FC Honka, then PK35 Vanta, and later HJK Helsinki, one of the most dominant clubs in Nordic football. 4 years of learning, 4 years of building his tactical identity, 4 years of being humble enough to be number 2 so that one day he could be number 1. And in 2019, FC Inter Turku handed him his first senior head coaching job in professional football. He repaid their faith immediately, finishing second in the Finnish Veikka Liga in his very first season and qualifying the club for European competition for the first time in 6 years. This was not a lucky man. This was a prepared man. Point 2. The Orlando Pirates era. Then came June 2022, and the moment that South African football fans will remember for a very long time. Orlando Pirates, a club desperate for trophies, a club with passionate but frustrated supporters, appointed a 44-year-old Spaniard that most people here had never heard of. The response? Skepticism, doubt, and a lot of noise on social media. But Riveiro silenced every critic, not with words, with trophies. In his first season at Pirates, he won the MTN 8, then the Nedbank Cup, back-to-back cup doubles in year 1. Year 2, another MTN 8, another Nedbank Cup defended. Year 3, history made. he became the first coach in South African football to win the MTN8 3 consecutive times. By the time Riveiro departed Pirates in 2025, he had collected 5 major domestic trophies, a 60% win ratio across 95 matches, and 5 consecutive wins in the Soweto Derby, against the very team we're about to discuss. Let me say that again. 5 consecutive Soweto Derby wins against Kaizer Chiefs. The man didn't just beat Chiefs, he made beating Chiefs a routine. And hold on, it gets even more impressive. He also guided Pirates to 3 consecutive runners-up in the Betway Premiership and took the club all the way to the semifinals of the CAF Champions League in the 2024-25 season, where they fell narrowly to eventual champions Pyramids on aggregate. That's not just a good coach, that's a great coach. Point 3. The Ahly chapter and what came next. Now, when Riveiro left Pirates before the end of the 2025 season to join Egyptian giants Ahly, many were shocked. But let's be fair, Ahly is the most decorated club in African football history. It was a massive opportunity. Unfortunately, his time in Cairo was short and difficult. He participated in the FIFA Club World Cup, but struggled for results in the Egyptian Premier League. He was sacked in August 2025 after just 3 months, with the team sitting 12th on the log. Riveiro himself was honest about what happened. He noted that the squad had very limited preparation time before the Club World Cup, that there were many new signings still finding their feet, and that they never received the full support needed to implement the changes he had in mind. It was a bump in the road, not the end of the journey. After returning to South Africa as a Carling Knockout Cup ambassador, his name was immediately linked to 2 of the biggest jobs in the country, the Bafana national team and Kaizer Chiefs. But before that conversation could fully develop, in January 2026, AIK Stockholm, the 12-time Swedish League champions, announced Riveiro as their new head coach on a contract running until December 2028. So yes, as of today, Riveiro is in Europe, but in football, nothing is permanent, and that's exactly why this conversation refuses to die. Point 4. The Kaizer Chiefs connection. Now let's get into the real debate. Could Jose Riveiro ever coach Kaizer Chiefs? And to answer that, we need to look at 2 things, the Kaizer Chiefs side of the story and the Riveiro side of the story. On the Chiefs side, this club has been through a painful rebuilding phase. Since Stuart Baxter left after winning the PSL title in 2015, Amakhosi have cycled through coach after coach, searching for a formula that sticks. Giovanni Salinas, Ernst Middendorp, Gavin Hunt, Stuart Baxter again, Arthur Zwane, Molafin Seki, Nasruddin Nabi, and now co-coaches Halil Ben Youssef and Cedric Kaze. Some brought stability, none brought the sustained excellence that Chiefs supporters, the largest fan base in South African football, truly deserve. Meanwhile, Riveiro was doing at Pirates exactly what Chiefs needed, building structure, winning cups, playing disciplined, organized football, making a club dangerous in every competition they entered. As one analysis in the South African media put it, if Chiefs truly want to reclaim their throne, they need someone who has already built a winning culture in this exact environment. Now, on the Riveiro side, this is where it gets complicated and fascinating. For a long time, Riveiro insisted publicly and firmly that he would not coach any other PSL club. His words, "I'm a pirate," always were direct and clear. But, and this is a big but, in a late 2025 radio interview on 947, his tone shifted. He acknowledged that no club had actually called him. He said, and I quote, not word for word to avoid misrepresentation, he essentially said he would never disrespect any coach by saying he would refuse their job before being offered it. That's a different answer. That's a door that was previously bolted, now slightly ajar. Point 5. Riveiro's tactical system explained. Now, for the coaches, the analysts, and the die-hard football fans, let's talk tactics. Because if Riveiro were to arrive at Chiefs tomorrow, what exactly would Amakhosi supporters be getting? Riveiro's preferred formation is the 4-2-3-1. Here's how it works. At the back, you have a flat back 4, 2 center backs who are disciplined and comfortable in possession, 2 fullbacks who are expected to get forward and contribute to attacks down the wings. In front of them, a double pivot, two defensive midfielders who protect the backline, recycle possession, and provide the platform for the team to build from. Under Riveiro at Pirates, this was one of the most well-organized units in the PSL. Then, the attacking midfield three, an attacking midfielder centrally, and two wide players on either side. The wide players are not traditional wingers who just run and cross. Under Riveiro, they cut inside, press aggressively when out of possession, and link play with the striker. At the top, a lone striker, typically powerful and willing to hold the ball up and bring teammates into play. The key principles that define Riveiro's football are these. First, organization. His teams are always competitive.